Peace in the Middle East. Peace in the Middle East. That is a phrase I've been hearing my entire life. I can remember being at my grandmama's house as a little boy, and sitting down there on the floor playing with toys, as my grandmama watched TV on her big box TV, and there was conflict going on over there in this same damn area where we're seeing conflict going on now. And shit, that was in the early 90s. It's been going on for some time now. And now we see the latest conflict sparked by Hamas's attack on Israel and Israel's brutal counteroffensive. So once again, I say peace in the Middle East. Still don't have it. Many have tried. Many have tried. Many have failed. But see, what I want to talk about is the reaction here stateside. Okay? I want to talk about the reaction here stateside and how so many people who don't fucking understand the issue, they're making business decisions. They're making business decisions. What you talking about first? I'm about to tell you what I'm talking about. Before I do, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I am your homeboy first. And this is the realest, most entertaining show in all of the game. Put it on something. Again, hit that subscribe button, share, and put all your people on it. Okay. Let's look at something, y'all. We've seen companies posting about the conflict. Okay, we've seen Hollywood stars posting about the conflict and everything like that. We've even seen basketball legend, first ballot Hall of Famer, top 5 all time. Some people got him as the GOAT. Okay. LeBron James has weighed in on the conflict that's going on over there in the Middle East right now. Okay. I'll read it to you. Okay. This is coming from a post from Brun's Twitter account. Okay. And the letterhead has his Spring Hill Company on it. And actually, this is representing not only LeBron, but also Maverick Carter. It reads, "The devastation in Israel is tragic and unacceptable. The murder and violence against innocent people by Hamas is terrorism. The Spring Hill Company family sends our deepest condolences to Israel and the Jewish community. We pray for peace in the region and reiterate our continued commitment to fight hate in all its forms. We all must work to ensure this tragedy does not spread even more hate, racism, and anti-Semitism." Okay. First of all, that last sentence is spot on. We all must work to ensure this tragedy does not spread even more hate, racism, and anti-Semitism. That's 100% the truth. It is. But with this release, and I'm not the only one thinking this, you can't help but think back to when the NBA was confronted with the China question, and Daryl Morey just said something that got him damn near fired from the league. Daryl Morey almost got the axe. They came down on his ass, didn't it? Y'all remember that? Hold on, let me refresh y'all. Daryl Morey, general manager of the Philadelphia 76ers, okay, former general manager of the Houston Rockets, okay, Simply tweeted out, fight for freedom, stand with Hong Kong. Fight for freedom. Now we are the United States of America. Number one thing we say we represent on planet Earth is fucking freedom. Okay. Our leader is nicknamed the leader of the fucking free world. Okay. But that man tweeting that shit out was controversial. Why? Because China ain't trying to hear that shit. And China has the second biggest economy in the world. Okay. A lot of our fucking goods are made in China. China owns a lot of American debt. Okay. And China is a growing market for basketball. So not only a lot of these goddamn Jordans and LeBrons and KDs and Kyries and all this shit made over there, you got these motherfuckers going on these trips over there to China in the summer and all that kind of stuff. They making all kind of money over there. You got over 1 billion people who like to hoop. So the NBA said, shut the fuck up, Daryl Morey, and they made the rest of the league shut up on that goddamn issue so they wouldn't piss off China. But hold on, let me go back. What Brun say? We pray for peace in the region and reiterate, here it is, reiterate our continued commitment to fight hate in all its form. Now, when motherfucker was asking Brun why he didn't want to talk about the China shit, well, he basically said he focused on domestic issues, something to that effect, the shit that, he understands here, and that's his fight. But now, he up here commenting on Hamas versus Israel. What's the difference? I tell you what the difference is. It's business. Drake got all these folks saying standing on business now because of that album. They say they don't like the record, but it show being influential. Everybody want to talk about standing on business. That's what Bron doing, standing on business. That's what a lot of folks like Bron doing right now, is standing on business. There's a lot of folks out here in this country that do not know at all what the fuck is going on over there. They just know that the United States fucks with Israel. Israel got attacked, and so the knee-jerk reaction is just support whatever the fuck Israel does. And that's the way most Americans roll with it, Democrat or Republican. Democrat or Republican. I've seen George W. Bush pledge undying loyalty to Israel. I've seen Barack Obama do the same. I've seen Donald John Trump do the same. And I've seen Joseph R. Biden do the same as well. This shit here don't be a partisan issue. Both sides. This is one of the few things that you can both sides, these political parties. But do we take the time to understand the history of this shit? And there's a word that I need all the real ones out there to add to your lexicon, add to your vocabulary, okay? And I want you to fully understand this thing called imperialism. I want you to understand imperialism, when stronger countries dominate and control weaker countries, okay? I want you to understand that term now. Because that term and the history surrounding it explains a lot of our lives today. Okay. How these rich countries with these powerful militaries have gone around the world conquering shit and changing shit and altering shit, but then when the shit get fucked up, they be like, oh. Because what's going on right now between Israel and Hamas, we created this shit. Our government, the United States government, was the leader behind the mess that was created over there right now. And we've been trying to manage it ever goddamn since. Well, go look up Jimmy Carter, Camp David Accord, and see how he was trying to get the Arabs and the Jews over there to quit beefing. Go look up goddamn Bill Clinton. He tried to do the same shit. President after president, and campaign speeches, pledges, and they gonna bring peace to the Middle East. These motherfuckers ain't doing this shit. But we started this mess. What you talking about first? Let me read to you. Can I read to you? Let me read to you, okay? Let me read to you out of this book right here. It's one of the many U.S. history textbooks that I've read in my career, okay? Of course, I read what I had to read when I was in school and everything like that, but, you know, during my career, this is one of the many I've read. Matter of fact, when I was studying to take my teacher's test, which we call the praxis here in the state of Mississippi, this is the book that I studied out of, okay? So I'm gonna read something to y'all, okay? And before I do, let y'all know, this ain't me talking shit. I'm reading to you something written by scholars, historians, okay? So if you don't like what the fuck is said, you contact these scholars. Contact Carol Birkin, okay? This is an older book, okay, but she was at Baruch College, City University of New York. Contact Christopher L. Miller. He was at the University of Texas, Pan American. Contact Robert W. Cherney. He was at San Francisco State University. Contact James L. Gormley. He was at Washington and Jefferson College, okay? And this shit is published by Mifflin, Company, okay? But about the genesis, the origin of the state of Israel, this book goes into pretty decent amount of detail for a textbook. A textbook ain't gonna go too deep. A textbook gives you a little about a lot, okay? I challenge you, and I challenge myself. We all should read a book simply on this topic. Let's do that, okay? Before this next year is out, let's all do that. Read a book about this topic. Because if this shit finna just keep going on generation after generation after generation, we the people got to learn more about it so we can put pressure on these goddamn government officials to get some order, get some straightening, okay? Since they the ones that caused this mess. We talking about first. I'm finna tell you. Let's go, okay? This is coming after World War II, y'all. Okay, this is coming after World War II. Now, y'all know during World War II, Jewish people faced the god awful, horrific event known as the Holocaust, where Adolf Hitler and his Nazis tried to systematically eradicate European Jews. Okay, most estimates say that he wiped out 6 million of them and killed 6 million other quote unquote undesirable people as well. Okay, so this is after World War II is over. United States and its allies have won the war. Adolf Hitler dead and gone. Okay, so it says in the Middle East, fear of future oil shortages led the United States to promote the expansion of American petroleum interests. In Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Iran, the goal was to replace Britain as the major economic and political influence. At the same time, the United States became a powerful supporter of a new Jewish state. Truman's, and we're talking about Harry Truman, okay, president from 1945 to 1953. He took over after FDR died, okay. But Truman's support, he was a Democrat. Truman's support for such a nation to be created out of Palestine arose from several considerations: moral, political, and international. As early as August 1945, he had asked that at least 100,000 displaced European Jews be allowed to migrate to Palestine. Then, under British rule, pause. Now, you see how these people who were living there in Palestine, mostly Arab people, were already being fucked over because they were being ruled by the fucking British. Britain is an island in Western Europe. But them motherfuckers had control over these folks in the Middle East. That's one thing. There's one instance of imperialism right there. But then the next you see our president, our former president, Harry Truman, is saying, hey, let's allow these 100,000 displaced European Jews, let's let them go to Palestine. Okay. Let's keep going. It says, considering the Nazi terror against Jews, he believed that the Jews should have their own nation, a view strongly advocated by a well-organized pro-Jewish lobbying effort across the United States. Okay. So you had many here within the United States lobbying the government for this shit, saying that the way the Jews were attacked in World War II, the European Jews were attacked in World War II, they wanted a homeland for them. Okay. And you know, if you go on some very religious shit, you know, talking about, you dig off into that, you know that this is this area that they wanted. To them, they consider it the promised land. Okay. But see, the thing about that area is that you got three major religions that view that shit as holy land. Okay. You got Islam that views it as holy. You got Jews that view it as holy. You got Christians that view it as holy. You feel me? And so now you gonna have some beef over who gonna run this shit. But it continues. All right. In May 1947, Britain announced it no longer had the resources or the desire to maintain control over Palestine. Now, remember, Britain got fucked over big time. Got fucked up, I should say, big time in World War II, because Hitler was bombing the shit out of them. Okay, so they came out that motherfucker not as powerful as they once were. Okay, so that plays into them not having the resources to really keep all the shit of their empire. You know, these motherfuckers had so much. They once ruled the world. Okay, they were once had the stature that America has. That phrase, the sun never sets on the British Empire. You've heard that. Okay, if you're an educated person, you've heard that. That shit is because hell, they had land all over the world, so the sun was up somewhere. But post World War II, it started to lose some of that. Okay, because the money got funny. All right, but let's keep going. So the stage was therefore set for the United Nations to divide the region into two nations, one Arab and one Jewish. When the United Nations voted to partition, to split it up, okay, to divide it, Palestine into Arab and Jewish states on May 14, 1948, Truman recognized the nation of Israel within 15 minutes. Okay. And when war quickly broke out between the surrounding Arab states who refused to accept partition, okay, and Israel, Truman and most Americans applauded the victories of Israeli armies. So again, we did this shit. Because when it's talking about the United Nations, the United States of America is the big dog in the United Nations. Okay. Especially if you get to talking about the goddamn UN Security Council that features the United States, Britain, France, Russia, and China. Basically, it features the big dogs who on the winning side in World War II. So we did this shit. And we've been having to fund Israel and basically be the big brother to them ever since. Because since we did this shit, they are surrounded by motherfuckers that don't like them. Because they feel like you just took our land and gave it to them. And we supposed to just deal with it. That's why them motherfuckers look at it. Shit crazy. Shit crazy. Again, if you don't like what I just said, don't get mad with first. Get mad with historians. I ain't making this shit up. I didn't know that shit till I learned about it. You feel me? I grew up in the church. All I was taught was Jews are the chosen people of God, and you know, because you hear that and shit, so many people say they support the Jews just reflexively off of that. You understand? And I'm not saying in this instance that it's wrong to support Israel, but I'm also not saying it's wrong to support the civilians who are being victimized over there in Gaza. I'm saying this is a fucked up ass situation that's way more complex than a lot of these damn celebrities and sports stars and all these motherfuckers that's on here tweeting and talking be talking about. It's far more complex. And at the end of the day, the fuck shit that's going on comes back to the world powers who goddamn want to dominate that region. As Joe Biden said in a speech long ago, okay, when he was a younger man, okay, and it wasn't no stutter at all when he said it, okay. He said that if Israel didn't exist, the United States would have to create an Israel. Why is he saying that? He's saying that because the United States of America wants a country over there in that Middle East that we are cool with. So we can always have an eye on what's going on in that bitch. So we are always, if need be, we can put a military, we can launch our military from this country. We can use their airspace if we need to, because that region got oil like a motherfucker. And when you got the biggest economy on earth and you got all these cars and planes and tanks and spaceships and all that kind of shit, we need oil. You understand? That's why he said that. That's why he said that. It's the same reason why we in bed with Saudi Arabia, but we say we against human rights violations and shit like that. But Saudi Arabia be fucking over the women of its population, left and right. But we do business with them because they got that oil, and we want to be able to use their airspace if need be. We want military bases there. This shit deep, man. This shit deep. This ain't no cookie cutter shit, man. This shit deep and it's real life. Motherfuckers for real are dying on both sides of this shit. And some folks in this shit, little kids, little Israeli kids, ain't did shit. These babies, like my children, they ain't had nothing to do with shit. They ain't vote for no Benjamin Netanyahu, who's a piece of shit. I've said before, I don't like his motherfucking ass. I don't think he likes people like me. Not the way he treated President Obama. But see, I'm not one of these folks that just reflexively think that motherfuckers like Hamas like somebody like me. You feel me? Like Hamas, I think about like Al Qaeda and shit like that. Some folks who be mad at how black people are treated in America, almost like they were rooting for Bin Laden and shit. Like that motherfucker didn't give a fuck about me. There was some black people got killed in them Twin Towers. So I look at what's going on over there, and I just look at it as being horrific because I know where it stems from. I know the root of it is greed. I know the root of it is imperialism. I know the root of it is rich, powerful countries meddling in motherfuckers' affairs in that part of the world. Okay? I know the root of it is still the legacy of Adolf fucking Hitler and what he did to Jewish people. Because if you don't have that, them people European Jews should have been able to flourish in Europe. Hitler shouldn't have been scapegoating them and shit and blaming them for all the bullshit that was going on in his country and blaming them for Germany losing World War I. But still in 2023, that motherfucker's atrocities are still affecting shit on the day-to-day. Still in 2023, dumb shit that the Truman administration did is still affecting lives and today. This shit deep, man. Shit deep, bro. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Not on this one. I don't know what to do on this one. I think we need to get some strong leadership that wants to really, that can really, really talk to both sides and try to get some kind of order in that bitch. But I don't know if we have that. Because I see motherfuckers on TV in the Republican Party, like Lindsey Graham, basically saying shit, wipe them out, turn them into rubble. Like, goddamn. And he's talking about Israel should do that to Gaza. Like, goddamn, dog, it's some innocent people over there too. You just wipe them out? That's how you feel? I saw another clip talking about Israel trying to starve the Gazans, you know, to make them give up those members who are in Hamas. And then dude was like, I mean, that sounds callous, but hey, this is war. But then hold on, I think about that, and you can say, well, it would be fucked up if you say, let's say somebody who supported Al Qaeda's motherfucking ass tried to justify what them bitches did on 9/11 by saying, well, those people that were at work in the World Trade Center and at the Pentagon, they weren't innocent because they were taxpayers. And their tax dollars was funding the bullshit that the U.S. government and the U.S. military was over there doing in the Middle East. So yeah, anybody can get it. And that sounds callous, but it's war. What the fuck? We'd be enraged if we heard somebody say that shit, dog. Enraged. War is hell and war is horrible. It is. But human rights have been violated for years and years and years. Independence has been forgotten for years and years and years. And it's almost like our government be using the Israelis over there on the slick. Because some of these same motherfuckers who are so pro-Israel right now be siding with the white supremacists who want to kill Jews here. If you pay attention, some of these same folks, Queen Jamel Hill, gangster lady, okay, gangster lady, formerly of ESPN. ESPN, they lost a real one, but they didn't want a real one. They want that bullshit that Stephen A. be doing. But she called a motherfucker out on their shit, and I loved it. Okay. The Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know that motherfucker that batshit crazy. Okay. She gonna tweet out some shit talking about she stands with Israel. Okay. That was she gonna tweet out. And then Queen Jamel Hill hit her ass with that dish you. Had to hit her with it. And what she pointed out was numerous reports of her being against Jewish people. But she claims she's staying with Israel. From the New Yorker, Marjorie Taylor Greene accuses Jewish space lasers of trying to shoot down Santa. This motherfucker batshit crazy. Batshit crazy. Another article. GOP Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene speaks at white nationalist conference. Okay. The Congresswoman from Georgia spoke at the America First Political Action Conference organized by white nationalist leader Nick Fuentes. That's one of them boys Kanye was fucking with. Another article, okay, says the long list of Marjorie Taylor Greene's anti-Semitic, anti-Muslim conspiracy theories. Okay, it says anti-Semitism is not alone among Greene's problematic beliefs. As is often the case, it comes along with myriad other conspiracy theories. She has also used anti-black and anti-Muslim rhetoric. This motherfucker don't like nobody. But she want to claim she's staying with Israel. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. When them some bitches were marching in Charlottesville, Virginia, and they sitting up there hollering about you will not replace us and shit, and they had their tiki torches out there. Donald John Trump came out and said that it was fine people out there on both sides. But now he's staying with Israel. He's been the biggest supporter of Israel. What? Get the fuck out of here, man. This shit is wild, Jack. I'm telling y'all, you got to educate yourself, dog. Read some scholarly shit. Quit just watching these fucking conspiratorial shit that's on YouTube and shit, and do some reading. Learn you something. Read some shit that's fact-based by some real fucking journalists, by some real goddamn historians. And then you'll be able to see that a lot of the shit that these folks doing, whether they be politicians, whether it be celebs, whether it be businesses, is bullshit. Because at the end of the day, all they give a fuck about is their money. Bron ain't trying to fuck up his money. A lot of these businesses ain't trying to fuck up their relationship with the Jewish community in America. That's what you got going on. In the United States government ain't trying to fuck over don't want to lose an ally right there in the heart of the oil-rich Middle East. That's what the fuck is going on. But what about the people who've been down there in that area in Israel/Palestine since 1948, going through this constant bullshit? Imagine the PTSD that motherfuckers on both sides of this conflict have grown up with. The level of anxiety these people have grown up with their whole fucking lives. Why? Because the major powers just stick them right here in this shit and using them as fucking puppets. That's what's going on, man. So we, the people, got to be better educated and more forceful and pay more attention to what the fuck is going on so we can put pressure on our so-called leaders, because they are the real puppet masters behind all this bullshit. Put it on something.
Please subscribe to my daddy's YouTube channel, because the more subscribers he gets, the more attractive he looks to sponsors. The more attractive he looks to sponsors, the more money he can make. And the more money he can make, the more money he can spend on me.